Good morning. We're back with Buffy Cowton from Wilderness Supply. Good morning. Thank you for being here. So we looked at some of the more comfortable ways of taking your next trip out to Mother Nature, and now we want to talk about campsite etiquette. There are unwritten rules.
And some of them are written, in fact, but it's good to know what they are. And campsite etiquette's all about letting people get with the outdoors. If you're camping, the idea is to get back to nature. You don't want to bother anyone. You don't want anyone else to bother you. Just be polite, and it's more about how you're going to act than what you're going to bring with you.
Okay, so once you've picked a good spot and you've found a spot or booked it, however you'd like to do that, then what's the first thing you want to do?
When you arrive in your spot, hopefully it's during the day so that you don't disturb anybody. You want to scout things out, take a look at how your campsite's set up and how it compares to the other campsites. You want to find yourself a route to the bathroom, to the garbage that doesn't involve going through anyone else's site. Even if they're not there, it's generally a faux pas, not a great idea. So you figure out your routes during the day when you can see everything and everything's clear. And if it happens to be a busy campsite, you might want to mark your own tent. Late at night, go out to the bathroom or something, can be a little bit rough to find your way back. Simple thing like a glow stick, it's going to last all night. Means at 3 in the morning, you don't end up in someone else's tent by mistake. Unless you were trying to.
Yeah.
It's not a great idea.
All right, so mark your site, and then this is trash.
Well, the number one principle of camping is leave no trace. So when you leave the campsite you're at, it should look as good, if not better, than when you found it. So you always want to carry a plastic bag with you at all times. If you're doing food prep, anything like that, you want to take all trash, put it in your plastic bag right away. Don't leave it around. It attracts animals. Not a great idea. And it just means that you know everything's packed up, ready to take out with you. If it can't burn, don't put it in the fireplace. Bottle caps, plastic, things like that. Put it in a plastic bag. It's ready to go.
That's good. And then it's not blowing over to other people's sites either.
Absolutely. You've got it under control. You know it's all together.
Okay. And now this is a kind of a cool thing. It's a water bucket and a kitchen sink.
It is. It's called a backcountry sink. And the idea is if you're doing food prep in the outdoors, you don't really probably want any human visitors. You really don't want any animal visitors.
No.
So even the little bits of food that are on your plates and things, not a good idea to wash them in a river or a stream, anything like that. Wash them in a backcountry sink like this. Keep the water in there. Save it for the end of the night when you're going to put your fire out. Pour it right over the fire. It's all contained and you're good to go.
That's a great idea. So then there's no traces of the food left behind.
Leave no trace at all.
That's good. You don't want the bears ruining your party.
That's the worst idea.
Okay, now this is pretty cool too, a headlight.
One of the ways that you can be disturbing to other campers is with light. Once it gets late at night, flashlight's a really good idea, obviously, but if you shine them into other people's tents or anything like that, not a great idea. A good way to get around that is a headlamp like this. It's very simple. Goes over your head like that, and it works just for you. Keeps your hands free. Comes in a couple different brightness levels, and that way you're not going to be shining through anything else. Just going to be shining on what you were looking at that night. You're good to go.
And now a huge part of camping also is sound, keeping quiet.
Yeah. So you want to remember, with provincial parks, quiet time's usually 11 at night till 9 in the morning. Might be different wherever you're camping, but again, people are there to experience the outdoors, to listen to the crickets, all that kind of thing. So you want to keep the sound level down. It shouldn't really extend beyond your campsite. It goes for music, goes for talking. Also really good to remember that tents are not soundproof in any way, shape, or form. So a good rule of thumb, if you imagine if someone could hear you through a sheet, they can hear you through your tent. So you want to keep sound down even when you're indoors camping, whatever you're getting up to. Remember, sound levels, it's a good idea.
Because you're definitely not indoors, just a sheet is
in
separating you and everyone else.
In any way, shape, or form.
Well, thank you so much, Buffy, for showing us some of the more comfortable items that you can have camping and about campsite etiquette. The season is far from over. Do book a site, head out there, and enjoy the great outdoors. We're taking a quick break here on BT. Stay with us.